Hi, this is Dave from friendlywebguy.co.uk, and in this video I'm going to be looking at the parent and child sync feature, which will be included in the agency plan. Now, if you're managing multiple sites, you want to keep them all with the same configuration, the same modules and sort of setup on there. And you could go through individual sites changing the settings, but that frankly takes time. With the agency plan of ToggleWP, I'm going to introduce a new synchronization process so you can have a central hub site, manage all your settings on there, and they can be synchronized down on a schedule to multiple client sites. So in this video, I'm going to be taking a whistle-stop tour through some of the highlights. So on the hub site, I've currently got our plugin control and session management enabled. And down in the agency panel, I've got the parent sync enabled. And obviously, if parent's enabled, you can't turn child on because it can't do both. And in a separate video, I'll be covering the AI Hub and AI Writer. So with parent sync enabled, let's pop up to the top here. We can see the different types of information and settings that can be synchronized from your parent site. The interval, twice a day, once a day, or every hour on there, depending on how quickly you want to push changes out. And you can also register different child sites in place. So before this video, I already set up child 1 and child 2, and they're in different stages of updates. So I'm just going to swap to child 1 on here. Here we can see we've only got session management enabled, no plugin control, because at that point I hadn't set anything else up, but we do have child sync enabled. So I'm going to swap over to this tab up the top. We can see we've got our details in place, how often it should pull the details, and obviously it did it 32 minutes ago. So if I do sync now, fingers crossed as this is live and unscripted, it's now said 3 module activated, 8 settings and six options. And if we refresh the screen on the top here, we can now see plugin controls being activated, AI Hub and AI Writer. Obviously, I've not gone through to fix this issue at the moment because AI Hub shouldn't synchronize to all of them. This is why it's a pre-release video on there. But we can see it's now enabled plugin control as well as session management. So if we swap back to our hub, and apologies for jumping all over the place, and pop down to our plugin manager. Actually, no, I want plugin control up here even. As I said, this is unscripted on here. On a different screen, set ToggleWP to be a protected plugin and Jetpack to be blocks. So if I go to the plugins, add plugin screen, we can see Jetpack is not listed here. If I swap to client 2 that hasn't got anything in place, do plugins, add plugin, Jetpack is still listed because I've not synchronized that site yet. So if I hop back over to here, pop into child sync on this side, and just trigger a manual sync. As you can see, it was 31 minutes ago on there. It's now activated those modules. If I swap back over to plugins, add plugin, Jetpack is no longer listed on there. So that's a dead simple way of managing what should appear on your featured list on here, or completely blocking plugins that you don't want in place. So for example, you don't want to have BuddyPress and BBPress and secure custom fields shown on there. You can add them at the top and synchronize that all down. So that's all well and good for our 2 client sites on here. If I swap across to client 3, we haven't got anything enabled for this one as yet. So let's walk you through the process of adding your new site. So I'm swapping back to the hub, go to manage and go to our parent sync tab. I'm just going to enter client 3A on here, as I did 3 earlier and then deleted it just to make sure it's all working properly. If I click register child site, that will go through and creates a child sync settings string. I'll copy that across, swap over to our client 3 sites, enable child sync. So once that's toggled on, we now get our panel at the top. Just going to paste the details in there, connect to parent sites. It'll say connecting and syncing, and fingers crossed it'll say connected and synced successfully. The screen now refreshes and it has enabled our different modules in place. So plugin control has also got our toggle protected on there without being enabled, and we've also got Jetpack being hidden from that side through. So We do note if we swap across to the plugin manager screen, this I hadn't covered previously, is also synchronized the admin note and protecting ToggleWP. So if I swap across to plugins and install plugins, we've now got our admin note shown on there and the protected status on that side. So it's a whistle-stop tour to go around on here, but you can see that if you had 10, 15, 100 different sites on there, it's easy to manage your created suggestions and plugin manager bits on the top here, and it can synchronize down. Likewise, if you want to enable your session control, which I've got at the top here, and that has now been enabled. Obviously, it will kick in correctly once you've logged in and out, so it can reset the session on that side, but that wasn't previously there. And we've also got our AI writer, which I will cover in a second video. So everything you see here is included in version 0.4 that should be available by the time you see this video or in the next couple of days on that side. If you've got any questions or would like to give it a try, there's a 14-day free trial without a credit card. All of these modules are currently available on all of the plans. However, once it reaches version 1.0 for a nice stable release, the admin modules or the agency modules will only be available on the agency plan, obviously as they need more supporting and more development on there. But also as an agency, the time saving on there will easily outweigh the license cost on that side. Thanks for watching.